Welcome back, you beautiful, crazy people. I actually have no plan for this blog, so I'm just probably going to start talking about a random thing that just popped into my head. And, well, it's about electrical cars. And anyways, just about electrical means of transportation. I do find it a very interesting concept, but I've recently come up with quite a lot of problems concerning electronical or electric vehicles. Yes, they are nice for the environment. Maybe. And here's my maybe. Lithium. To produce any type of lithium battery, which it's not very, how do you say, environmentally friendly at all. It literally destroys the entire environment around it. If you look at pictures online, what the production of lithium actually means for the environment, and then look at pictures where it's produced, you notice that the rainforest is being destroyed by it. Literally destroyed. You can't drink the water near it anymore. The entire landscape has been poisoned. That doesn't sound like something I would want to pay money for. If you cannot produce lithium batteries in a very safe, non-pollutant way, why would I want to pay for something that destroys the environment even more? And yes, I do have a cell phone, and yes, I do have a GoPro, and I do have a laptop, and all these things. But I actually have to say that my laptop battery doesn't work anymore. I'm definitely not going to replace it. Then, second of all, not all electricity that you buy or gets produced is produced environmentally friendly either. There is coal electricity, there's nuclear electricity, and there's wind-powered electricity. Now, wind-powered electricity or solar electricity may be the way into the future, and I do agree that it's probably smarter, better, and whatnot, and more efficient. It's, from what I've been reading, it's been getting a lot more efficient with the technology developing faster and faster these days. But problem number 3. Now that you've bought this electrical car, you may or may not live in what I would call a normal suburb neighborhood. Let's go to the United States, where most people actually do live in suburbs. And they have access to electricity, right? Well, what do you do when you live in the old country, let's say Europe, Germany, where I'm living right now, and you live in a big city? Where are you going to plug in your car when you're at home? Especially if you have to park your car 6 or 7 blocks away. Are you going to quite literally hold on, I gotta take this turn here. Are you going to run a cable all the way from your apartment building, which may or may not be on the 4th or 5th floor? I mean, how are you going to do this? Then, if everyone's figured it out, and you have now charging ports everywhere along the sidewalk, that's gonna ruin anything that you're gonna have to remove trees. I don't think it would look beautiful to have thousands of cars sitting in a city and then millions and millions of charging ports everywhere. That's literally going to look stupid. Cables hanging out everywhere. I mean, Don't get me wrong, I think it's wonderful to have, let's say, an electric motorcycle. I would find that really cool because just the instant power that you can have from that, and I haven't experienced it yet, but from what I've seen and heard, I'd actually like to try this. But then again, I don't feel like having to travel 20 or 30 miles and having to recharge every time for 34 hours. Now, I don't know how long these motorcycle batteries last. I haven't looked that up, so this is just a guess. But how, and I really would like to know this, how and who is going to, well, when the battery breaks, dispose of it? Who is responsible for it? Who's going to pay for all of this? Because that's not going to be cheap. That's actually probably going to be rather expensive. And not just dispose of it as in throwing it into the ocean or into some kind of garbage bag, but disposing of it responsibly, so it doesn't harm the environment. Now, I do know that fossil fuels are polluting the air and whatnot, but really, I mean, you almost have to consider that maybe the best mode of transportation was the horse or a bicycle or something other than that. Mostly because I honestly don't know how the heck you would make any of this to be environmentally friendly at all. I mean, the most environmentally friendly thing you can do is probably walk. And even that can produce an excessive amount of carbon emissions, because then if you're tired of walking, you're going to take, you guessed it, public transportation. So there we're back at, well, it may actually be a bit better than say owning a car that produces a whole bunch of emissions. But I see loads of different ways that the world is being polluted, and one of them being plastics. Now, in order for a battery to last longer, you'd honestly have to do the same thing you would do with most cars and most motorcycles. Start making carbon fiber frames and making them out of stiffer and rougher plastics. But that again produces a whole lot of emissions. So either way you look at it, it is not very intelligent or smart at all to produce stuff that pollutes this much. So I do wonder if maybe we need to evolve even more, because how are we going to manage this? I mean, it's going to be a lot of pollution one way or the other, but I think it's much worse that if I say that electric cars are the future, when I'm polluting the entire Earth by creating lithium batteries, and polluting even more by having to get rid of the batteries, and then producing electricity, which not all electricity is wind-powered electricity, because you're still using fossil fuels or nuclear power in order to produce that electricity. So how in the world is that smarter than a fossil fuel car or a fossil fuel motorcycle? Now, I love my motorcycles because they're simple. I understand them. They don't have, the ones that I have at least, don't have so many computers in them that I don't know which side is up and down. And I don't have to worry about different components other than the mechanical ones, which is nice because that means I can still work on them. Now, maybe the next generation of motorcyclists are keener and know more about computers than I do, and are able still to work with this technology. But that's another thing that bugs me. I like working on my bikes, and as soon as there's high voltage involved, I don't know if I necessarily want to work on these bikes anymore, because I don't feel like being electrocuted. I mean, I've managed to electrocute myself a couple of times. Not exactly the nicest thing to do, but I wouldn't recommend it. And if you're doing something on a motorcycle that's now a sports bike or something like that, that is actually got quite a bit of high voltage going through it, and you mismatch a wire, or you accidentally pop against one of these wires with your arm, your hand, your finger, I don't know if that would be so cool anymore. I mean, you know, it's one thing having 120 volts smack you in your hand real quick, or in this case here in Germany, it's already happened to me, 220 or 240. I actually don't know if it's 220 or 240. It's gone up and down in this country quite a bit with the electrical voltage. It depends on if it's a new building, old building sometimes, but that hurts. And I don't necessarily enjoy working with something that's going to electrocute me. So I am actually kind of bothered by this. I mean, you know, I can still, at this point in time, I can still work on my bike, I can still fix my bikes, I can build my own bikes, but if I can't do that anymore, I'd rather just get a horse and a carriage. This way I have a pickup, a family car, a Jeep, a four-wheel drive, in this case four-wheel legged vehicle, which, well, I would probably have to take care of one way or the other. But I do actually, I would really like to know your all of y'all's thoughts about this, because it bothers me. I mean, I'm not exactly, you know, Mr. the environment guy, but I do believe that we should respect nature. And that doesn't seem to be happening when I'm producing a car that's polluting the earth another way. And I don't know about you guys, but if I'm trading something off for something that's apparently better, why am I reading all of these things, all these factors about creating lithium batteries that are literally destroying the environment in which they are created? I mean, I'll post a picture in there of the cesspool that has been created by creating lithium batteries. It is literally crazy, to a point which I honestly don't think it's much better than the fossil fuel car. So maybe we need to convert over to pedal powered cars or something. I mean, the technology is out there. Or maybe steam powered cars. I mean, today's technology could actually make that happen electrically, and you wouldn't have to have thousands of lithium batteries in order to have an electrical car which can be charged and driven on steam. I actually think that's a possibility. It's not that, I mean, it's not that insane. There have been cars out there powered by steam, and honestly, to tell you the truth, Stanley Steam Company used to, and I think they still hold the world record. I'm not sure, but I think they still hold the world record for a steam-powered car. But anyway, enough rambling. I'm almost at work, and it's a little bit chilly out this morning. It's not as warm as it was last week. Yeah, well, let me know what you guys think. I mean, are electrical cars really the future, or electrical motorcycles? because I'm finding lots of very, very huge doubting facts that this is going to be a solution to our environmental problems. I don't think it's going to solve anything. I think it might actually end up, yes, making it a little bit, the air a little bit cleaner, but it might pollute and kill off thousands of hectares of land, of animals, and maybe even poison humans that live around that area. So I honestly don't know which part of that is sensible, smart, or intelligent. But anyway, let me know if you like this video, subscribe, because you are beautiful people, and comment down below what you thought about this video. And I do apologize, it is a little bit windy, so if the sound quality sucks, I am very sorry. I'll try to fix it somehow. I'm not a computer genius, like I said. I do know a little bit. But anyway, subscribe, click like, share, and comment. I'd like to know your thoughts on this topic. Well, I'll see you on the next video.